Johnny's Leaving was inspired by my need to write something for my USC film application when I was applying to colleges in high school. So my inspiration was being dead tired at 4 in the morning and having a deadline for a college application. I had to write a scene, 5 pages, where one character wanted to leave a room and the other character wanted the character to stay in the room. So I wrote a really, really bad script about a guy whose parents are psychologists and he acts crazy around his parents' psychologist friends that he gets to leave and his parents want him to stay. I thought it was funny when I wrote it. I read it again. It was terrible. It was not funny at all. So like 4 in the morning, the day before my application had to go out, I sat down and I ended up writing what was basically the first draft of Johnny's Leaving. Or not to pat myself on the back too much, but I'm actually really impressed at how much it evolved from something that I really just kind of came up with at 4 in the morning, and then something that it was, something I threw together, but then, like 4 or 5 years later when I was in college, it was something that really stuck out of my mind. It's still one of the strongest things that I've written.
You gotta live, but if you leave...
Kevin, stop.
Frank hates me. He hates me. If you leave, it's gonna get worse. Don't leave, Johnny, don't leave.
Kevin! I'm going to come back and get you.
Really?
Yeah, but you can't tell Mom I'm coming back.
I'm quite honestly surprised that it turned into what it did. But I think, a lot of times inspiration comes from unexpected places. And I think I really do think one of the best inspiration that people can get is a deadline and is the need to have something done. And I think it pushes your mind to think in ways that, if you're given too much time and you're waiting for inspiration, you're waiting for, your muse to strike, that a lot of times it's better to just, push your mind and you'll come up with something great because, you have something great inside. I do film because I love to tell stories. From when I was a little kid, I was always writing stories, drawing comic books. I learned to read off Spider-Man comics, off my dad has Amazing Spider-Man #1. Just different stuff like that. And I think that film is a special way to tell a story because it's the method of storytelling that is closest to the actual human experience. There's a time element, there's a visual element, there's an audio element. It's not necessarily tactile and olfactory, but a lot of the elements through which we really perceive the world all are happening in film. Hip-hop is a big reason why I have not taken this year's advice and bought grown man clothes. I think hip-hop has kept me with this hat on and this Spider-Man shirt. I think and these Jordans, these fresh Jordans. They're not really fresh anymore, but these Jordans I got on. I know you like my Jordans. But nah, I think hip hop. What I love about hip hop is two things about hip hop. I think that hip hop has an authenticity to it. I think in a lot of ways it's a pirate media because it's not art it's art that's reappropriated. It's art that's taken from other places and recontextualized and made to speak for people that haven't necessarily been able to speak before. In a lot of ways, I look at a lot of things in my life as a reappropriation of other things. You're taking an idea and you're flipping it, or you're taking a theme or a perception that people have, and then you're going to turn it on its head. And I think that's what hip hop is about in a lot of ways. It's taking something, taking a song from Annie and making it a ghetto anthem. Like that's what hip hop is about. I think that's what I try and put into a lot of what I do in my life. Is especially taking people's image of a young black man and trying to turn it on its head, and making people see, oh well, this is someone who loves hip hop and plays basketball and raps and doesn't dress well and curses and says yo too much, but at the same time someone who's intelligent and righteous and thoughtful and artistic, and reappropriating what those images mean and making it mean something different. Man, it's like the place where people go to really say what they need to say. Anybody. This is not, I don't think it's an ethnic thing. It's for anybody. It's a voice for people who are who don't have. I'm going to be successful doing this, but I'm going to be successful in my terms of successful. I might not get rich from doing this. I might not have Oscars. I might not, you know, be in a movie with Beyonce or in parties with Jay-Z because I made films. But I'm already successful in the sense that I've made films that I'm proud of, that say something important, and that are well done and emotive, and that move people. And you know, I've had people come up to me about some of my films and say like, you know, hey, you know, I know what that was like growing up, and you got it right. And that is the best feeling in the world. You know, that's success to me. I hope to make money off of it one day. I do believe that I'll be able to make money off of it one day. That's not happening right now. But I think in a lot of ways I'm already a success because I've reached people and I've touched people. And I think that as long as you are honest with what you do, and you do what you're doing for a purpose and not simply because, not for a check or not for, you know, girls or whatever reason you might be doing it, but you're doing it because it's something that you believe in and that you mean, and you really mean it, it's very hard not to be successful.